Police Academy is one of the most beloved buddy comedies of all time. Following a group of underdog cadets who join their local police academy after the option becomes available to anyone interested, the movie was a hit with audiences and gave a boost or launched the careers of several of its stars, including Stephen Guttenberg, Kim Cattrall, and Michael Winslow. For now, we'll just have to celebrate the movie by checking in on the cast of Police Academy today. G.W. Bailey as Lieutenant Thaddeus Harris. Mr. Nasty of the Police Academy, he always tries to discredit and get rid of Lassard and his men, but ends up being the butt of most of the jokes. Starting with Police Academy 4, he inherits Proctor from Mauser. He generally seems to be success-driven at the cost of Lassard and his men. Started as a lieutenant in the first film but is promoted to captain in other films to come. Bailey was born in Port Arthur, Texas, where he went to Thomas Jefferson High School with Janis Joplin and Jimmy Johnson. He started college at Lamar University in nearby Beaumont and transferred to Texas Tech University in Lubbock before moving to California in the mid-1970s. He broke into television with a small recurring role as a crime scene police officer on the short-lived detective show Harry O. He then landed one-shot episodic roles on television programs of the day, such as Starsky and Hutch and Charlie's Angels. He returned to college in 1993 and graduated from Southwest Texas State University, now Texas State, in San Marcos, Texas in May 1993, with a Bachelor of Fine Arts Theater. For the 1999 to 2000 school year, he was the artist in residence. In the late 1990s, he starred in 3 of the 17 television films and miniseries in the Bible Collection series produced for the TNT television network: Solomon, 1997, Jesus, 1999, and Paul, 2000. From 2001 to 2019, Bailey served as the executive director of the Sunshine Kids Foundation, which provides trips and activities for hundreds of young cancer patients annually. He first volunteered with the organization after his goddaughter was diagnosed with leukemia. G.W. Bailey has a net worth of $5 million. Bubba Smith as Moses Hightower. Featured in all but the 7th film, Hightower was a florist before joining the Academy. He's best known for his immense size and superhuman strength. Hightower practices for his driving test by ripping the front seat out of a compact car and driving comfortably from the back seat. However, he's the humblest and soft-spoken of all the characters. Smith was born on February 28, 1945, in Orange, Texas. He originally dreamed of playing college football at the University of Texas. Even though Longhorns head coach Darrell Royal considered him worthy of an athletic scholarship, Royal wasn't willing to offer one due to racial segregation in the southern United States at the time. Smith starred in the short-lived television series Blue Thunder, partnering with Pro Football Hall of Fame defensive star Dick Butkus. Among other television series Smith appeared in were Good Times, Half Nelson, The Odd Couple, Wonder Woman, Taxi, Heart to Heart, MacGyver, Married with Children, and Family Matters. Smith was the longtime spokesperson of the Baltimore area law firm Cohen, Snyder, Eisenberg, and Katzenberg. In 1983, Smith published the autobiography Kill Bubba Kill, in which he claimed the Super Bowl III game might have been rigged to ensure the AFL-NFL merger went smoothly. Smith was found dead in his Los Angeles home by his caretaker on August 3, 2011. He died from acute drug intoxication and heart disease. Phentermine, a weight loss drug, was found in his system. His heart weighed more than twice that of an average similar male. He was 66 years old. Charles Aaron Bubba Smith had a net worth of $500,000 at the time of his death. Steve Guttenberg as Carrie Mahoney. Cadet Officer Mahoney is the main character of the first 4 movies and the cartoon of the series. He's a troublemaker, womanizer, and cad with a heart of gold. His worst habit is retaliating against insults in hilariously effective ways. Guttenberg was born in Brooklyn, New York, on August 24, 1958. He's the only son of Ann Iris, a surgical assistant, and Jerome Stanley Guttenberg, an electrical engineer. After playing an uncredited part in the suspense film Roller Coaster, Guttenberg had his first screen credits in the TV movie Something for Joey, 1977. Next, he played the starring role in the 1977 high school comedy The Chicken Chronicles, set in Beverly Hills in 1969. He appeared in the 1978 film The Boys from Brazil, based on the Era 11 bestseller, and guest-starred on Family. Guttenberg married model Denise Bixler on September 30, 1988. They separated in June 1991 and divorced in 1992. Guttenberg has been with WCBS TV reporter Emily Smith since 2014. They were engaged on Christmas Day 2016 and married on January 19, 2019. Guttenberg is involved with charities that help homeless people and young people. In 2016, a trust in his honor was established to provide support services to the homeless population of Los Angeles. The Entertainment Industry Foundation, Hollywood's charity arm, selected Guttenberg to be ambassador for children's issues for his work on behalf of children and the homeless. At the 2016 New York Walk to Fight Lymphedema and Lymphatic Diseases in Brooklyn, Guttenberg announced, via a pre-recorded message, that he had joined the Lymphatic Education and Research Network's Lee and Wren Honorary Board. Steve Guttenberg has a net worth of $12 million. George Gaynes, as Commandant Eric Lassard. Eric Lassard is the Commandant, or head, of the Metropolitan Police Academy. He initially isn't interested in the politics of the police department. When Chief Hurst and Lieutenant Harris are criticizing the new female mayor's policy change to remove the barriers from academy admissions, he plays along with them and quickly dismisses their comments once they've left the room. Gaynes was born in Helsinki, Finland, in 1917. In 1946, Gaynes returned to France, but an American theater director offered him a role in a Broadway musical, leading him to move to New York City later that year and become an American citizen in 1948. During this time, his best-known appearances were in Wonderful Town, the musical version of My Sister Eileen. Gaynes was married to stage and television actress and dancer Alan Ann McClary from December 20, 1953, until his death. Aya Gaynes Falcone Brown. Matthew was shortlisted for the U.S. Olympic kayak team the year that President Jimmy Carter boycotted the 1980 Summer Olympics after the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Matthew died in a car crash in India in 1989 on his way to Nepal to film a kayaking special for ESPN. In addition to Gaynes joining the cast of his wife's series, The Days and Nights of Molly Dodd in 1989, McClary and he had previously worked together on Punky Brewster, when she guest-starred in a first-season episode. Gaynes died at his daughter's home in North Bend, Washington, on February 15, 2016, at the age of 98. George Gaynes had a net worth of $5 million at the time of his death. David Graf as Eugene Tackleberry. Tackleberry is in all but the seventh film and is best known for his love of firearms, the military, and direct action. He had been a veteran of the U.S. military and a security guard before joining the police academy. He joined the police force to see more action but has a poor grasp of the difference between the military and civilian life. Graf was born in Zanesville, Ohio, and later moved to Lancaster, Ohio, and graduated from Lancaster High School. He studied theater at Otterbein College in Westerville, a suburb of Columbus, Ohio, where he graduated in 1972. He attended graduate school at Ohio State University until 1975, when he dropped out to pursue his acting career. Graf made his first television appearance a contestant on the game show The $20,000 Pyramid in December 1979, where he teamed with actress Patty Duke. He will later appear on subsequent versions of the show as a celebrity contestant, twice with Duke. He played Gurgley in the drama Four Friends. Graf later played the trigger-happy Eugene Tackleberry in the 1984 comedy Police Academy and starred in each of the sequels. Besides his acting, Graf was a respected representative of the Screen Actors Guild. As well as serving as a Hollywood union rep, he was on SAG's National Board, TV Theatrical Steering Committee, and National Disciplinary Review Committee. Graf sought fair treatment for his fellow actors and actresses, which included efforts for better working conditions for the acting community. Graf married Catherine Graf in 1983. They had 2 sons. While attending his brother-in-law's wedding in Phoenix, Arizona, on April 7, 2001, Graf died from a sudden heart attack, 9 days before his 51st birthday. David Graf had a net worth of $500,000 at the time of his death. Donovan Scott as Leslie Barbara. Leslie Barbara is an overweight guy who can't stand up for himself. As a result, he's constantly the target of extreme practical jokes by a group of bullies who drive an old Mack Teskey truck. In the first part of the first film, he and the photo hut he works in are thrown off a bridge into a river. He vows revenge as he joins the police academy. Theater in San Francisco. He toured as both an actor and artistic director of a theatrical troupe. In 1977, Scott settled in Los Angeles and worked extensively in both film and television. In 1979, he made his film debut in Steven Spielberg's 1941. Scott also appeared in the music video for Olivia Newton-John's 1981 hit Physical and co-starred in Lucille Ball's 1986 ABC TV series Life with Lucy. From 1993 to 1994, Scott stayed in Russia and Ukraine, where he made The Children of Captain Grant as film director, screenplay writer, and actor. In 2016, Scott told San Diego Gay and Lesbian News he was working with his improv group at the ACME Comedy Theater in Los Angeles, as well as working on a Santa script for television. Michael Winslow as Larval Jones. Larval Jones, a standout personality in the series, is renowned for his remarkable talent of creating an array of sounds using only his voice. As a memorable character, he often leverages his vocal dexterity to craft clever deceptions, outsmarting both lawbreakers and authority figures alike. Jones's path crossed with Mahoney's when they were both taken into custody by law enforcement. Mahoney utilized his connections with Captain Reed to secure Jones's admission to the academy, where he joined the ranks of his peers. Born to Verdi and Robert Winslow, he spent his formative years at Fairchild Air Force Base near Spokane, later honing his craft at the prestigious Lisa Mayall School of Acting, Modeling, and Imaging. His inaugural television appearance was on the iconic show The Gong Show, where he wowed audiences with his impressive sound impressions, mimicking the likes of Benji the Movie Dog, Star Trek, and Jimi Hendrix's legendary Purple Haze. In 2020, Winslow made a notable guest appearance on the Dropout.TV series Game Changer, filling in for Zachary Oyama in Season 3, with the episode airing on January 22, 2021. The following year, Winslow showcased his talents on the 16th season of America's Got Talent, and subsequently appeared on the Talent Recap Show, where he shared his secrets for crafting his signature sounds. Although he was eliminated in the semifinals, his exposure on the show helped raise his profile. In 2022, Winslow gained widespread recognition among gamers when he was prominently featured in a YouTube video by Video Game Donkey titled Video Game Sound. This video catapulted Winslow into the spotlight, introducing him to a vast audience of gaming enthusiasts. Video Game Donkey, a longtime admirer of Winslow's work, has frequently referenced him on his channel. Michael Winslow's net worth is estimated to be around $1.5 million. Andrew Rubin as George Martin. George Martin appears only in the first Police Academy movie. When the movie begins, he seems like a Hispanic heartthrob with a knack for attracting hordes of women. But later in the movie, it's revealed that he's a fourth-generation American of a Spanish-speaking family and actually speaks in an American accent. He puts on a Spanish accent and changes the pronunciation of his name to impress girls. By the end of the first film, he'll be involved with Callahan. Rubin was born June 22, 1946, in New Bedford, Massachusetts. His father, Simon, owned a furniture and bedding factory, and his mother, Leona, was an artist and international travel writer in New York City. Rubin began appearing in commercials in the late 1960s. Andrew had a role in the television series Shazam on the episode titled The Boy Who Said No, which aired October 26, 1974. He was one of the stars of Hometown, a 1985 CBS program. Rubin originated the role of Alan Willis, the son of Tom and Helen Willis, on The Jeffersons. He introduced the character in a single-episode guest appearance during the first season. The character reappeared as a regular for Season 5 with a new actor in the role, and disappeared again by the end of that season. On October 5, 2015, Rubin died of lung cancer in Los Angeles, California. Bruce Mahler as Doug Fackler. A bespectacled, soft-spoken, and hapless law enforcement officer whose well-meaning but clumsy nature inadvertently wreaks havoc and causes chaos wherever he goes. In the first film, a careless act sets off a chain reaction of events when he discards an apple, which strikes a motorcyclist, prompting the motorcyclist to mistakenly accuse a rival gang member, sparking a brawl that ultimately escalates into a full-blown riot. In 1977, Mahler made guest appearances on 2 episodes of the television series Fernwood Tonight. 3 years later, he joined the cast of Fridays, an early 1980s ABC sketch comedy show modeled after NBC's Saturday Night Live, where he frequently showcased his musical talents and distinctive radio DJ-style voice, most notably in recurring sketches such as The Latin DJ and one-off sketches like KPLO and A Classical Get Down. His film credits include the 1984 horror film Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, the 1985 comedy sequel Police Academy. 2. Their First Assignment, the popular American sitcom Different Strokes, 1986's Police Academy. 3. Back in Training, the 1987 film Funland, and the 1989 sequel Police Academy 6, City Under Siege. In the 1990s, Mahler appeared on the television series The Famous Teddy Z and had a recurring role on the hit sitcom Seinfeld. He also landed minor roles in the films Hook, Dick Tracy, and Loaded Weapon 1. From 1995 to 1998, he played a recurring role as a rabbi who befriends Elaine in several episodes of Seinfeld, including The Postponement, The Hot Tub, The Serenity Now, and the finale. Leslie Easterbrook as Sergeant Debbie Callahan. Debbie Callahan is best known for her pure sex appeal, specifically her large breasts, which provided the series with countless sight gags and penchant for wearing tight-fitting clothing. A more serious, grown-up, mature version of Tackleberry, Callahan is portrayed as a stoic, no-nonsense officer who is both physically and sexually aggressive. She, along with Harris, trained the cadets in the first film, but she does not show the outright hostility towards the cadets that Harris does. Easterbrook was adopted when she was 9 months old. Her adopted parents, Carl and Helen Easterbrook, raised her in Arcadia, Nebraska. She attended and graduated from Kearney High School and Stevens College, and was an English teacher at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Easterbrook appeared in about a dozen feature films and over 300 television episodes. One of her earlier successes was in 1980 as Rhonda Lee, beginning with Season 6 of Laverne and Shirley. Rhonda's role was part of the show's locale change from Milwaukee to Burbank, California. While playing the role of Rhonda, she appeared as a panelist on Match Game taped on September 27, 1981. Easterbrook appeared in Private Resort Murder, She Wrote, Diagnosis, Murder, Hangin' with Mr. Cooper, Baywatch, Matlock, Hunter, and The Dukes of Hazzard. In 2005, she replaced Karen Black as Mother Firefly in Rob Zombie's The Devil's Rejects, the sequel to the 2003 horror film House of 1,000 Corpses. Easterbrook was married to screenwriter Dan Wilcox until his death in 2024. She is good friends with former Police Academy cast member Scott Thompson and was close friends with Marion Ramsey. Easterbrook describes the cast of the original film as a big family. Leslie Easterbrook has a net worth of $1.5 million. Scott Thompson as Chad Copeland. Chad Copeland starts out as a cadet in the first film and, in his subsequent appearances, moves further up the ranks. Upon meeting Hightower for the first time at the Academy, Copeland is immediately intimidated by him after an earlier comment he made with blanks. Initially chosen with Blancas as a cadet leader for Harris's team at the Academy to spy on Mahoney and his friends and get them off the force and discredit them in the first movie. Thompson was born on October 29, 1957. He graduated from Lowell High School in Whittier, California, in 1972. His sister, Carolyn Jean Thompson Casanave, was a musical theater artist who appeared as Carolyn McCurry Raven in the Broadway production of The Robber Bridegroom. His film appearances include Parasite, Jack Frost, Clockstoppers, and It Runs in the Family. Greater. Marion Ramsey as Laverne Hooks. Hooks is a diminutive, soft-spoken, and unassertive woman with a very high-pitched voice who often struggles to keep people in line, a trait that continues in the second film. However, she's known for becoming aggressive and authoritative when frustrated or pushed to her limit, punching people out or pulling her service weapon while yelling the memorable phrase, "Don't move, dirtbag." The word dirtbag might be something she inherited from her days in the police academy under the training of then-Lieutenant Harris. Born in Philadelphia on May 10, 1947, Ramsey's entertainment career began on stage, touring the U.S. in the musical Hello, Dolly. Her first television part was a guest role on the series The Jeffersons, and she was a regular on Cos, the Bill Cosby sketch comedy series. In 1976, her career in TV and film ended after she appeared as a guest on the hit sitcom The Jeffersons. Later in her career, she had guest appearances on Adult Swim shows Robot Chicken and Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job. In 2015, she reunited with Police Academy stars Steve Guttenberg and Michael Winslow in the sci-fi camp film Lavalantula and its sequel To Lava to Lantula the following year. Her final acting role was in the 2018 indie film When I Sing. Ramsey was a singer and songwriter who wrote songs with Harass Fire. She was deeply committed to AIDS awareness and lent her voice for charitable causes, performing in Divas Simply Singing, an annual fundraising event. Ramsey was good friends with actress Nell Carter. She died at her Los Angeles home on January 7, 2021, after a short illness. She was survived by 3 of her brothers. Ted Ross as Captain Reed. A senior police officer and old friend of Mahoney's father, Reed made it clear to Mahoney that he needed to straighten up by going to the academy or facing jail time. When he found out about Mahoney's scheme to perform terribly and get himself expelled as a loophole, he made a deal with Lassard as a way to make him stay there full term. Reed was there and was happy at Mahoney's change and commended Harris for helping turn him around. Zanesville, Ohio. But his mother, Elizabeth Russell, a nightclub singer in the 1920s and 30s, moved the family to Dayton when young Ross was 7. He loved the clubs on West 5th Street, Dayton's answer to Harlem in the first half of the 20th century. While in junior high, Ross, who was big for his age, would dress up and strut into the Owl Club and the Palace Theater's midnight rambles to see great acts such as Duke Ellington. In 1990, Ross played Troy Maxson in a Cincinnati production of August Wilson's Fences. It was the first time his family saw him perform on stage since the contest in 1952. He came home to Dayton, Ohio, for good in 1997 and opened Your Place, a jazz club on West 3rd Street. Occasionally, Ross sat in and sang in his club and performed as part of the Dayton Art Institute's Just Jazz series. Ross was honored by Dayton's Wayman Chapel AME Church, the Miami Valley Fisk University Alumni Club, and by WROUFM as a Black History Month Achiever. He suffered a stroke in 1998 and died from complications 4 years later at Good Samaritan Hospital on September 3, 2002, at the age of 68. Deborah Lee Scott as Violet Fackler. She is the wife of Douglas Fackler and fiercely opposes her husband's plans to join the police force in the first movie, even trying to stop his car from going to the police academy. However, Douglas becomes a cop anyway. In the third film, Violet decides to join the academy and become a cadet, and now her husband tries to stop her from doing this. She and Hooks catch on to Blanca's and Copeland's involvement with Mauser. Scott was born and raised in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and later lived in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, where she was a cheerleader. At age 22, she found fame on Mary Hartman, playing Mary's sister, Kathy Shumway. She also appeared in Welcome Back, Kotter as Rosalie Hotsy Totsy and guest starred in an episode of Gibbsville in 1976. She played Angie's younger sister, Marie Falco, in the Donna Pescow sitcom, Angie. For a while, Scott continued to work in front of the camera, appearing in 2 Police Academy movies. Later, she retired and chose a career behind the camera, becoming an agent for a company in New York City called Empowered Artists. In 2000, Scott appeared on a panel with her former Mary Hartman castmates at the Museum of Television and Radio in Beverly Hills. Scott was married to actor Jonathan Frakes for a while in the 1980s, but they divorced by 1986. Scott's fiancé, John Dennis Levi, a police officer with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, died in the September 11th attacks. In 2005, shortly after moving to Florida to live with her sister, Scott fell into a coma and was hospitalized. She recovered and was released from the hospital on her birthday. However, she died in her sleep 3 days later, on April 5, 2005. Kim Cattrall as Karen Thompson. She's a bored socialite who joins the police force to broaden her horizons and meet people who aren't like her and her mother. Thompson is best friends with Laverne Hooks and is the only one who truly understands the soft-spoken woman. She's also Mahoney's first love interest. Kim Victoria Cattrall was born on August 21, 1956, in the Mossley Hill area of Liverpool, Lancashire, the daughter of Secretary Gladys Shane and construction engineer Dennis Cattrall. Her career took off after graduating from Georges P. Vanier Secondary School in 1972 when she left Canada for New York City. There, she attended the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and, upon graduation, signed a 5-year film deal with director Otto Preminger. In 2021, Cattrall was cast in the How I Met Your Mother spin-off series, How I Met Your Father, led by Hilary Duff, in the pivotal narrator role originally played by Bob Saget. She joined Robert De Niro in the comedy film About My Father, 2023, inspired by the life of stand-up comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, who also stars. Cattrall was featured prominently in the permanent exhibition Wondrous Place, celebrating Liverpool's cultural heritage. In 2022, she starred on the Peacock revival series Queer. 23, Cattrall starred on the Netflix series. Cattrall has been married 3 times. From 1977 to 1979 was to Larry Davis, but it was annulled. Her second marriage, from 1982 to 1989, was to Andre J. Lyson. The couple lived in Frankfurt, where she learned to speak German fluently, but she admits she has forgotten a lot over the years. Her third marriage, from 1998 to 2004, was to American audio equipment designer Mark Levinson. The couple co-wrote the book Satisfaction, The Art of the Female Orgasm, 2002. Kim Cattrall has a net worth of $40 million. It's incredible to see how much they've grown and how some of them have continued to make us laugh and entertain us over the years. We hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane as much as we did. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the memories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Then and Now videos, and we'll see you in the next one.